Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. I thought I would film Cal's 3-week video while he is passed out, and I'll show you what this little shirt looks like. This is the Soothe shirt by La La Lu Baby, and he loves it. And it's just a tank top, and then it has this little pouch attached to the tank top. So it's really, really great for newborns. So I just kind of wanted to touch base and talk about what's going on at 3 weeks. So I mentioned diapers, I think in each video, just like the leaking and stuff. It's gotten a lot better, but we're still experiencing like a little bit of leakage. We're using all size 1 diapers, mostly using Pampers, Pampers Swaddlers, and Pampers Baby Dry. I'm curious to try the Target brand because I think that's one, and Loves. Those are the two that I don't think I've tried at all. Like I've tried Huggies, Honest, Pampers. There's probably some other ones, Baby Ganix, 7th generation, I think. So I've tried quite a few different ones, but I think Loves and like Target brand, I'd be curious to see if those work better. But I'm just kind of going through what I have right now, which is mostly Pampers. And for clothing, he's still in newborn size, so it's kind of crazy that he's 3 weeks old and still in newborn. I thought he would be in that for like, if at all, I thought he would maybe be in it for 1 week, so, which is fine. But I'm like anxious for him to get up to 0 to 3 months, because that's when I started buying all of his like cute clothes. Like I didn't buy anything in newborn, which is fine. He has really great cute stuff in newborn from other people, but I'm excited to put him in the stuff that I picked out for him. I think that'll probably be maybe in another week or so. He has grown out of 3 pairs of pajamas already that were newborn size. So that's kind of it. It's sad, but it's exciting, because he's getting bigger. And then we've been doing tummy time. He still hates it, and he usually now will roll over if he's on his stomach and he's just like wailing. He'll usually find a way to roll himself over onto his back just about every time now. So that's kind of exciting. I know I posted that or talked about that in my last video, and I wasn't sure if that was like a milestone, but I think that it is. So I'm really proud of him for being able to roll over. It's not to the point where I'm going to not swaddle his arms in. They say like once the baby can roll, don't swaddle their arms. I'm still swaddling his arms at night because number one, he sleeps right next to me in the bassinet. So I'm such a light sleeper. I wake up and check on him constantly throughout the night. And then also, he's not like rolling over like actively. He's only rolling over if he's been put on his stomach. So we're still swaddling him at night. Feeding this week has been interesting. Like he just feeds every hour. I try to go every 3. Like right now it's been a little, maybe an hour and a half or so. But he's eating a lot, and his feedings are really short too. I think I said that before. Like I would say on average it's 10 to 15 minutes total for a feeding. So I don't know if he's just kind of like snacking and then he gets hungry again in an hour because he's not eating long enough. But when I'm feeding him, it's really hard to make him continue to eat, because normally he'll just do this. He'll just pass out. And then if I wake him up again and stuff, then he just starts crying and he gets really mad at me. So then I just lay him back down on my chest and he falls back asleep. So I don't think there's any way that I could make him feed any longer without like upsetting him and stuff. So I think at this point, it's just a little phase that he's going through. From research that I've done, it seems like babies usually at 2 to 3 weeks kind of have a growth spurt and they want to eat a lot more often. So hopefully it subsides and he either eats longer and goes longer periods, or just goes longer periods without having to eat. So speaking of feeding, The other day, it seems like he wakes up at like 6 a.m. I usually feed him, I'd say roughly like 1, 3, and 6, 1 a.m., 3 a.m., and 6 a.m. during the night. And he definitely, I don't know if I had my appointment, I can't remember if I had my appointment last week, if I had talked about it or not. At his checkup, I'm all over the place right now. At his checkup, the doctor said, so he was 8 pounds at his checkup, and at his 2-week checkup, and his birth weight was 7, 8. So basically she expected him to be right around 7, 8 at his 2-week checkup, but he was already 8 pounds. So she said that was really good, and he's growing a lot, and that I could go 5 to 6 hours at night without feeding him if he doesn't wake up. So I was really excited about that, but that hasn't happened. I'll set my alarm for every 3, and then I just kind of check on him and see if he's making any rooting or sucking, if he looks like he's hungry or awake. Then I'll feed him at 3. If not, if he's sound asleep, I'll set my alarm again for another hour. And then my plan was to continue to, check on him each hour until it's been 6 hours, but I've never gotten past 4. Normally it's between 2 and 3 hours that he wakes up to eat at night. Last night I went 4.5. So that was a good long stretch, but so that's exciting that he can go that long at night. I'm hoping to, maybe after this week, he'll kind of calm down and not need to eat as often, and that I can sleep 5 or 6 hours, because that would be awesome. So anyways, the other day, I was really tired because he's been waking up at like 6, and he gets fussy and he won't like fall back asleep, and I'm not gonna wake up at 6. Like, I feed him, around 6, and then I usually put him back down until like 9, and that's when we get up for the day. So when he starts getting fussy at 6, I try to tend to him. Anyways, the other day my husband was off work, or he was just home. It was Sunday. He was home. So he took him out of the room and like went and took him into the house or whatever while I was sleeping. And I woke up and it was 9:30, and I was like so excited. I got so much sleep, and I was like, oh my gosh, he must be so hungry. So I went out there and I'm like, is he hungry? And he's like, no, I just gave him a bottle. And I'm like, what do you mean? Like, we've never given a bottle, I've only breastfed. And he's like, well, you had some milk in the fridge and I just gave it to him in a bottle. And I'm like, I didn't even know he knew where the bottles were. I don't even know where the bottles are. Like, we haven't even experimented with bottles at all. So it was really sweet. He said, yeah, he ate it and everything. So what I've been doing is I've been pumping throughout the day, and I'll pump into like 2.5, 3 or 5 size containers, like bottle containers. And then whatever I get from that pump session, and I only pump for like 5 minutes, I will just pour into a 5-ounce bottle and I'll stick it in the fridge. So then throughout the day, I'll just pour whatever I pump, and once it hits 5 ounces, I put it in a bag and I freeze it. Because I'm thinking by the time we're actually giving him like frozen milk, he'll be drinking around 5 ounces, I'm hoping. Because we don't plan to like go on a trip or do anything like that until he's like ways away. So anyways, I have like small portions of milk usually in the fridge throughout the day. So he took that out of the fridge and put it in a bottle. It was the Munchkin Latch bottle, and put it in there and fed him and gave it to him cold, and he said he drank it and liked it. And so I'm like, that's awesome. So I'm really happy about that. And then later that day I was like, okay, well, since you gave him a bottle, I guess like you can do that again if he needs it. So I was able to go out to Target and get stuff that we needed for the house. Like, I really wanted to get out. Oh, thunder. But I didn't want to take him to the store yet. So I did that, and he gave him a bottle and everything was fine. And then even the next day I went out to the grocery store, and my husband watched him and gave him a bottle. So that's really exciting that he can drink so well out of the bottle. And he's only drinking like 2 or 3 ounces, so it's not even like taking that much out of my supply, especially since he's just using what I've pumped that day. So it's really not a big deal. Also, the pediatrician said to not take your baby out for at least 8 weeks. So until his 2-month checkup. His 2-month checkup, he will be getting all of his vaccinations, and he will be like no longer susceptible to getting like germs and sick and stuff as easily. So it's really hard to stay in the house for 2 months. Like, he's only 3 weeks. We still have 5 more weeks to go. But I do want like what's best for him, and I want him to stay healthy. So I've gone out to the pediatrician, obviously, and then like yesterday we went out for a walk at a big like open outdoor shopping center, but it was a Monday, so it was really dead. There was nobody there. We went to lunch, and it was like an 11:30 a.m. lunch. There was nobody in the restaurant, so we felt totally safe and comfortable with that. But I'm not about to go take him to Target or the grocery store or like to a big public area quite yet, just because I think we might do it before he's 8 weeks old, just in case something comes up. But like, I'm just not ready to make that step, which sucks because I really do want to get out of the house and do things. And I know so many people have different opinions on this, but for us right now, that's just how we feel. I'm sure by our 2nd child, we'll be like out doing stuff like by day 3. But for now, we're keeping him home for the most part. I do get out and walk with him too, almost every day outside. So he's getting like fresh air and stuff. Today he's been really, really needy, and also over the weekend. But I don't think I knew over the weekend what he needed, because he would just cry and cry. But I've realized it today with it just being me and him, that he just needs to be held, and like he loves being tucked into my shirt. So I've been like putting him down in his swing. I've put him down in his swing twice today, and both times he screamed, like just wailed and wailed and wailed. And as soon as I picked him up and put him in my shirt, he was totally calm. So he's been doing that, which is fine, but I really I like to be able to put him in things so that I can get stuff done around the house. So I can still get stuff done around the house with him in here. It's just I can't like move as quickly, and I can't just like bend down and pick stuff off the floor. Like, I have to be a lot more careful and slow when I have him in here. Another thing, if you guys are having a baby soon, it's your first baby, I really recommend Duct detergent and stain remover and the scent beads. It's the best smelling stuff ever. It's totally random, but I just remembered that, and I really, really love that detergent. He does have a little bit of baby acne, but it's not like red or anything. It's just like some small little bumps on his forehead that showed up yesterday. And as he's been getting any blemishes or dryness or anything, I just take that little like breast milk, like a little manual pump that came with the like, I don't know, I'll show it in I'm gonna do a breastfeeding necessity video, so I'll show it in there, but it's just like a little tiny pump. So I'll take that and just like squeeze out a little bit of milk, and I'll put it on his face. Also, this week he had a blocked tear duct, which I was freaking out. His eye was like all yellow and goopy, and like throughout the night it would just get like crusted shut, and it was so sad. And I called the pediatrician, and they said that's what it was. So I wiped it with a clean washcloth throughout the day. I also put a little bit of breast milk on it, and it went away like literally in one day. So I was really worried about it. It made me really, really sad and scared. It was like his first thing that was wrong with him. So I was freaking out, but it went away within a day. And I kind of massaged it too, like right here. You kind of massage right there with a warm washcloth. He had his first bath, which was fun. We have the 4 moms bathtub. He's a little small for it. I wish I had the like insert that some people have so that he didn't like slip and slide in it, because I really basically have to hold him completely. He's like too small, and if his head turns even the slightest bit, he'll like get water in his mouth. So that was kind of scary, but he seemed to really like it. So I'm excited that he likes it. Everything else is good. I don't think that there's anything else I can say. We're happy. Sometimes he has his crying fits, so I do wonder about the colic. The pediatrician said there's a chance of him getting that right about now. Some people don't believe in colic, I don't know. But if he gets really fussy and he's like gassy or something, I use that gripe water, and that usually kind of helps too. So that's everything. Thanks so much for watching. Say bye, Cal. And I'll talk to you later. Bye.